India is currently facing a dual structural challenge: severe rural underemployment and the resulting distress migration. Every year, millions of workers leave agricultural zones, traveling up to 1,500 kilometers to reach the only available economic centers. The standard macroeconomic response has been to expand existing Tier 1 megacities. But this model of infinite expansion is reaching a point of structural failure. Many of these hubs are physically constrained. In coastal cities, dense high-rises have already reached the limits of the available land. When populations scale beyond planned capacity, civic infrastructure collapses. This results in extreme traffic congestion and the systemic overloading of public transit and housing. The proposed alternative is a strategy of decentralization, redistributing growth into a network of over 100 specialized urban hubs. This geographical shift aims to transform migration from a long-distance survival movement into localized economic integration. To understand how these hubs generate growth, we have to look at the math of urban job creation. Formal corporate roles are the catalysts for the economy, but they do not represent the majority of the workforce. High-earning roles in sectors like IT, banking, and pharmaceuticals drive consumer demand, which ripples out into the surrounding community. This is the multiplier rule. For every one formal job created in the private organized sector, approximately 3.5 to 5 secondary jobs are generated in the ecosystem. These salaries fund secondary roles in food services, transport, residential maintenance, and domestic support. This workforce distribution breakdown from India's Tier 1 hubs shows exactly where the city's labor is concentrated. Government and administrative roles represent a minor fraction of the total, between 3 and 6%. Though they are necessary for civic stability. The private organized sector makes up 12 to 18%. This high-earning segment is the primary engine for local demand. Small and large business owners, including merchants and wholesalers, account for 20 to 25% of urban employment. The largest segment is informal labor and the gig workforce, which comprises 50 to 60% of the urban labor pool. This massive informal workforce provides the manual labor required to build and maintain the city's physical structure. Because roughly 85% of urban employment relies on this multiplier effect, rather than direct corporate hiring, development strategy must focus on engineering environments that optimize this secondary ecosystem. These growth hubs leverage agglomeration economies. Instead of trying to provide every service, each city focuses on a specific sector to pool talent and supply chains. We can map out these specialized hubs across categories like electronics, healthcare, education, and sports. An electronics and hardware cluster uses factories and R&D labs to seed the market. This creates a specialized ecosystem of component vendors, technical worker housing, and freight drivers. By concentrating the industry, the hub attracts assembly plants and the massive workforce required to run them. A healthcare hub centers on multi-specialty hospitals. The surrounding economy then populates with specialized pharmacies, medical stay lodgings, and patient transport services. This creates a highly concentrated market for medical professionals and clinical researchers. Education and research hubs follow the same logic, with universities driving demand for hostels, coaching centers, and student services. Specialization creates a more efficient multiplier effect than generalized megacities, as talent and infrastructure are perfectly aligned with the anchor industry. For these nodes to work, they must be situated within 15 to 30 kilometers of existing rural villages. This proximity bridges the gap between the agricultural base and the modern urban economy. It enables direct farm-to-consumer sales, allowing farmers to sell produce directly to city markets and hotels without traditional intermediaries. This direct market access increases net farm realization by 30 to 50%. High-volume urban demand provides a stable, reliable outlet for rural agricultural output. This close proximity also facilitates the creation of a dual household income. A 20-minute commute allows one family member to work in the city's retail or manufacturing sectors, while another maintains the farm, stabilizing the family's cash flow against crop failures. This synergy provides educated rural youth with a path into tech or healthcare industries without requiring them to relocate to overcrowded megacities. Building cities without active economic engines creates unoccupied ghost towns. To avoid this, growth hubs must be built on 4 mandatory pillars of implementation. These 4 pillars ensure the infrastructure is functional and economically viable. The first pillar is high-speed connectivity. Satellite cities must be linked to village clusters and nearby megaports via regional rapid transit. High-capacity expressways allow for the efficient movement of labor and goods. This physical connectivity must be supported by a robust logistics and freight network. Pillar 2 is the placement of anchor employers. Private or state commitments, like a large hospital or automotive plant, must be established first to seed the local market. Pillar 3 involves flexible zoning rules. Reducing bureaucratic bottlenecks allows peri-urban land to be converted into mixed-use commercial and residential spaces. Pillar 4 is local municipal governance. Satellite cities need taxation power and planning autonomy to maintain their own infrastructure. This model combines 100 specialized hubs with the economic multiplier effect and anchors them directly to rural communities. By utilizing the multiplier effect to drive regional growth, this blueprint provides a structural path towards stabilizing migration and addressing underemployment.